Kerala, it clearly looks like is bracing for a violent political summer. Remember, it also goes to elections just like Tamil Nadu on the 16th of May. Now, what happened yesterday late on Monday evening is that while the BJP was holding a torch rally against implementing the draft city master plan in Thiruvananthapuram, a clash broke out when CPM activists allegedly attacked BJP workers. Both groups pelted stones at each other. Vehicles were also damaged. Now, the CPM called for a bandh in the Kattaikonam area today to protest against what the BJP did, while the BJP in counter-hartal politics called for a hartal in the entire district of Thiruvananthapuram.
തിരുവനന്തപുരത്ത് തെരഞ്ഞെടുപ്പ് രംഗത്തൊന്നും കേട്ടുകഴിവില്ലാത്തതാണ്. തിരുവനന്തപുരം സമാധാനപരമായി തെരഞ്ഞെടുപ്പ് നടക്കുന്ന ഒരു സ്ഥലമാണ്. എത്രയോ നാളായി ഒരു ചുവരെഴുത്തിന്റെ പേരിൽ പോലും തർക്കങ്ങളോ വഴക്കോ ഉണ്ടായിട്ടില്ല. സാധാരണഗതിയിൽ അവർക്ക് ജയിക്കാൻ സാധിക്കില്ലെന്ന് അവർക്ക് നന്നായിട്ട് അറിയാം. അതുകൊണ്ട് അക്രമ രാഷ്ട്രീയത്തിലൂടെ ജനങ്ങളെ ഭയപ്പെടുത്തി വോട്ട് തട്ടുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള പരിശ്രമത്തിലാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ ഏർപ്പെട്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്.
Let me go across live to my colleague Revati Rajivan joining me from Thiruvananthapuram. Revati, you are at the BJP office there. Now, how do you read this? We have traditionally seen BJP versus the CPM clashes in the Malabar region of Kerala. Something like this happening in Thiruvananthapuram, is that a first? And what really was the genesis? Was it some local issue which escalated into this kind of violence?
Well, yes, they're very common to see such kind of clashes in Kannur district, but now it is a matter of concern that it has gone outside the district as well. Now in Thiruvananthapuram, clash between the BJP and the CPM here. Now the issue started with the BJP taking out a torch rally here, protesting against the draft master plan which was going to be implemented in the city. They allege that local residents will be displaced if the developmental projects come into place. Now, according to the CPM workers, it was the BJP workers who provoked them because they were about to burn the effigy of the Thiruvananthapuram mayor who belongs to the LDF, and that's when the CPM questioned them, and this sparked off a clash between the two, turning it into a violent political violence, resulting in the injury of about 30 people belonging to the party admitted at the Trivandrum Medical College. Now, definitely ahead of the elections, a lot of political violence being unleashed, not just in Kannur, then in Alappuzha, and now in Thiruvananthapuram also. It is not very common in Thiruvananthapuram district to see frequent clashes like this and political violence, Sudhir.
Right. Okay. Now, the BJP, Revati, has alleged an LDF, CPM, Congress conspiracy to target BJP workers. Now, does that cut eyes with the people? How do people react to what is with the kind of allegations which has been mounted by the BJP there in Kerala?
Well, if you take instances of Kannur and Alappuzha, we are seeing that CPM has either been an accused or a victim in the political clashes that are taking place, the hacking, the murders, and all of that scenarios that are currently going on, especially after the election dates have been announced. But when it comes to the BJP, the Bharatiya Janata Party, they have really not been able to get to the people with the national issues like be it the JNU or the beef issues on the ground. So it looks like an attempt to get to the people with local issues like the city draft master plan or other developmental projects that affects the people on ground. To get a better perspective, I have Mr. J. Prabhash, a political analyst with me. Sir, this kind of a political clash between two parties in Thiruvananthapuram is not very commonly seen. Now, ahead of the elections, how do you see this? What is the target of these parties?
I think that this is a strategy on the part of the BJP. For if you look at it, you could see that this place where the clash took place was a place where land acquisition was in the offing, and for a while it was suspended. And so on that issue, they were able to make much leverage during the Panchayat elections. So and also the Lok Sabha elections, and so they want to take maximum advantage of that kind of a thing, and they believe that by bringing about violence, or clash between the CPM kind of a thing, they'll be able to mobilize people further around them. And if you look at it, you could see that this was also a constituency where the former president of the BJP, V. Muralidharan, is contesting. So he is hopeful of winning that constituency. And so if they can bring about two things: one, communal division between the Hindus versus the rest, plus if they could project themselves as on the right side of the development plank and raise issues like this. This is a great concern for the people of that area. And so if they could bring about a mobilization of the people belonging to that area, definitely that is going to help them in a big way in the elections.
Okay. So, drawing lessons from the local body elections where Trivandrum Corporation,
Absolutely.
the BJP had gained some sort of presence. They're trying the same model, reaching out to people with local issues, and it is an attempt to garner more votes and attract people towards the party, which is trying to just open an account in the state of Kerala.
Revati, if I may just briefly ask Mr. Prabhash this, that how does he see this? For the first time in Kerala, we are going to see a real triangular contest. And who do you think the entry of the BJP in a much more of an aggressive role is going to benefit or target, whether it's going to be advantage UDF or advantage LDF, if the BJP actually cuts into the votes of the two alliances, coalitions?
Let me put that question across, sir. This is the first time that we're going to see a triangular fight in the state of Kerala. So this time, if BJP actually makes gains in the state, who do you think it is going to benefit?
Yeah, I think that depends, because that depends on the constituency concerns. Say, for example, if the BJP is going to mobilize much votes in the Muslim-dominated areas, then it is definitely going to cut at the prospects of CPM or the left front. Whereas, if in other cases, it may cut at the Congress. One thing is sure, I mean, the two parties which are going to be affected most by the dent which BJP is going to make in Kerala are CPM and CPI first, and then Congress, because these are the three parties which have a large, constituency of Hindu voters, particularly CPIM and CPI. And next to CPM and CPI, it's the Congress which has a sizable section of the Hindus. So if the BJP is cutting at the Hindu vote bank, it means that naturally these three parties will be affected. It depends on the constituency concerned. But these three parties will be affected in varying degrees.
Yes. Clearly, sir. So the BJP state president had also mentioned earlier several times that there was a need for the Hindus in Kerala to come together. So just like Prabhash sir pointed out, definitely that is what the BJP also tried to target, and definitely it will cut into the LDF and UDF votes, Hindu votes especially.
Absolutely. One thing is very clear, Revati, it's going to be an extremely interesting election down there in Kerala on the 16th of May. The results which will be announced on the 19th of May. To you and to Prabhash sir, thanks a lot for joining us here on Up South. We'll take
talking about Team India and T20.
To do for your preparation. So I think there has to be a good balance between everything. So I think awareness counts big time in big tournaments. So does.
पैसे वाले बाबू मेरा बजट बना दो, पैसे वाले बाबू मेरा बजट बना दो, बजट बना दो, बजट बना दो, पैसे वाले मेरा बजट तू बना